Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're just starting out on your financial journey, or honestly, even if you've been grinding away for a while but still feel like you can't quite get ahead, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down the absolute fundamentals of building wealth. We're gonna strip away all that intimidating jargon and look at the very real, very simple daily habits that separate those who actually build wealth from those who just keep struggling. So, why do so few people reach financial freedom? It's a massive question, right? Especially when you're just starting out. You look around and everybody dreams of financial freedom, yet only a tiny fraction of us actually get there. Now, you might think it's just bad luck or missing out on some huge windfall, but our source material reveals something super interesting. It's not about luck at all. It's actually about these sneaky, everyday financial traps we fall into. You know, those little habits and decisions that quietly hold us back for years without us even noticing. Okay, so here's our blueprint for today. We're gonna start with the freedom illusion, and then we'll walk through 3 major traps: spending, waiting, and debt. After that, we'll talk about building a wealth mindset. And finally, we'll map out your own personal financial blueprint. Let's get into it. Section 1, the freedom illusion. Let's shatter this myth right out of the gate. For anyone new to this, the financial world can totally look like some exclusive club where everyone else has a secret password. But yeah, that's a complete illusion. In fact, the source makes it incredibly clear. A lack of wealth usually just comes down to everyday habits. Honestly, I find it incredibly empowering to realize that financial freedom is rarely the result of good luck. You absolutely do not need to win the lottery, and you definitely don't need some massive inheritance. It's 100% about taking control of the small choices we make every single day. The folks who are financially free, they aren't wizards. They're literally just people who avoided the super common mistakes that keep everyone else broke. Which brings us to section 2, trap 1, spending everything, or as I like to call it, the lifestyle treadmill. This is probably the single most common barrier for beginners who aren't just starting to see a regular paycheck. The core problem here is pretty straightforward. As people make more money, their lifestyle costs go right up with it, right? You get a raise, so hey, you buy a nicer car. You get a bonus, you upgrade your apartment. But the source points out that doing this leaves absolutely zero margin to actually build wealth, no matter how high your income goes. It's literally like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, you're running faster and faster as you earn more, but you aren't actually moving forward financially. If you've ever felt like your paycheck just mysteriously vanishes, even though you make a totally decent living, well, it's usually because of this exact trap. It's formally called lifestyle creep. And as a beginner, just identifying lifestyle creep is a huge victory. It's this invisible force that literally eats your raises. Defeating it means making a conscious choice. An increase in income doesn't automatically mean an equal increase in spending. You gotta capture that extra cash and actually use it to build your foundation. All right, section 3, trap 2, waiting too long and the true cost of delay. When you're new to all this, investing sounds super intimidating, right? So we just tell ourselves, oh, I'll do it when I make more money, or when I have more time. But here's the kicker. Every single year you delay investing, you are losing out on compound growth. And compound growth is essentially the engine of financial independence. For a beginner, it is without a doubt the most magical concept in finance. It simply means your money makes money. And then the money your money made goes out and makes even more money. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. But to make it work, you need time. Waiting for that perfect someday literally robs you of the time your money desperately needs to multiply. That's why the source emphasizes getting started early, even if it's just a tiny amount. You seriously do not need thousands of dollars to start investing. Putting aside just a little bit, consistently, right now, is vastly more powerful than waiting a decade to drop in a larger sum. Seriously, don't let the fear of not having enough stop you from just getting started. Moving right along to section 4, trap 3, debt and income vulnerabilities. Next step in our financial obstacle course, we really need to tackle the double-sided trap of carrying bad debt and relying on just one single paycheck. These are 2 huge vulnerabilities that can completely derail your progress. Think of high-interest debt, like carrying a balance on your credit cards, like trying to run a marathon while wearing a heavy backpack filled with rocks. The source highlights that this kind of unnecessary borrowing is a massive barrier because it steals your absolute most powerful wealth-building tool, which is your monthly income. Every single dollar you send toward credit card interest is a dollar that cannot be used to grow your own wealth. It's just gone. Now, on the income side of things, if an economic downturn hits a vulnerable earner, someone who relies entirely on one single job, it's an absolute crisis. Suddenly, unexpected stuff like a layoff creates instant financial hardship. But on the flip side, financially free individuals build multiple income streams to stay secure. They become what we can call the resilient earner. They've got investments, maybe a side business, just other income-producing assets. And look, as a beginner, your goal isn't to build a massive empire overnight. It's simply to start thinking, how can I generate a little bit of money outside of just my primary 9 to 5? All right, section 5, the wealth mindset. So we've covered the mechanical traps, spending, waiting, and debt. So let's shift gears to the psychological solution, the actual mindset you need to win the game of money. People who actually achieve financial freedom, they shift their perspective entirely. The source notes that the biggest difference is just mindset. Instead of focusing only on today's expenses and that quick hit of instant gratification, they prioritize thinking years ahead. They lean into continuous learning, being disciplined with their money, and really prioritizing their future self. It's a total shift from asking, what can I buy today, to how can I build my tomorrow? I absolutely love this quote from our source because it completely shatters the illusion that you need some massive windfall to become wealthy. And if you're a beginner, this should be incredibly comforting. You don't need to invent the next big app or win the lottery. It completely removes the pressure of needing that one lucky break and puts the power entirely back in your hands. Instead, true wealth is built by making thousands of small, smart financial decisions consistently over a long period of time. It's about choosing to cook at home a few nights a week, or setting up an automatic transfer to your investment account so you don't even have to think about it. It's opting to keep your perfectly fine, reliable car instead of taking out a massive loan for a brand new one. It's really those thousands of unglamorous, everyday choices that actually architect your financial freedom. Finally, section 6, your financial blueprint. Let's bring this all together into a final, simple blueprint for your own financial freedom. We've spotted the traps, we've talked about the mindset, so let's boil this down to the actual actionable steps. If you want to create a life where money provides freedom instead of constant stress, these are the 3 foundational steps you have to follow, straight from our source material. First, control your spending to defeat that lifestyle creep. Second, invest patiently. Seriously, start early, even with a tiny amount, so you can unlock that compound growth. And third, stay committed to your long-term goals. Don't get sidetracked by instant gratification. Remember, this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon of consistent, smart decisions. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a question to chew on. If your future self could look back at the financial decisions you made today, would they thank you, or would they ask why you kept them trapped on that treadmill? Financial freedom is not some secret club for the elite. It's a path that you build brick by brick. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, I challenge you to go out and lay that very first brick today.